intro video. I like that.
Dude, what was Scoot on in that video?
He was on another planet, is what he was on.
Yeah, that Portland pack.
Yeah. Fields, Hunt, Wicks. All depends on your team, Marky. All depends on your team. I would say Wicks probably has the actual most upside. Appreciate the follow. But yeah, interesting weekend of fantasy. Fields for Dobbins, who wins? All depends on your team needs, Julian.
Rice hurts, man.
I don't know. Supposedly, there's a tiny chance that he might not be out for the season.
That would be lovely.
I doubt it, but the Rice thing does hurt. Running backs are trash. You need a quarterback. Then yeah, I think Fields is fine. I just wouldn't expect that result out of everything. Let's see here. All right, should we just go ahead and start up on these teams here?
Yeah, I figure we might as well.
All right, Abby asks, do you need to trade away JT for a better wide receiver? You have Roschon, JT, Leggett, Waddle, McBride, Ayuk. Then on your bench, Rasheed is down. How would you play this? Because Roschon is obviously like basically a zero.
Hold on, let me add this team real quick and then take a peek. Okay, let's see.
Because it is interesting. Because I see why he wants to do that.
Trade JT for a better wide receiver, like.
But it's like you really need to kind of get another running back because Roschon isn't really a thing right now.
I don't see how you could really trade away JT with this team. Like maybe this person's expecting Pacheco to come back at some point.
Yeah,
but
it would be great.
Yeah, I'd keep JT. I think you have more spots to trade out of the wide receiver position, honestly.
It's an interesting team because it's like I am kind of curious. It's like how would you play this team? Because it's like Pacheco and Rice are basically out for the season.
Yeah.
So they'd hold zero value. McConkey is probably going to be a starter going forward, which is nice.
Yeah, and Monty is pretty high value right now as well too, relative to like where he was drafted.
I don't really understand why Monty's on the bench, I guess.
Yeah, the Roschon start was definitely questionable this week.
I think that's the thing that threw me off the most when looking at this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tyler Huntley looked awful, so I wouldn't really be looking to start Waddle.
No.
If I don't have to, be great. But who knows? Maybe next week will be better, but I doubt it. But yeah, this team's fine. It's just like it's weird in terms of like how you did your start sits, so it's messing with my brain. But Monty should be starting. Then you get a decent starting lineup here. McConkey should be an over Leggett most weeks.
You could
same thing with JMO. Like maybe like take JMO and McConkey and like tier up at running back or something like that.
I was gonna say the same. Like maybe a slightly lower tier up, like JMO and Gesicki or something.
Yeah, I'll say like you can take like maybe like two of these lower pieces with like JMO because like he's kind of consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think these are fine ads as well for what it's worth. They're just nothing that I'm like, well, the Dontavian one should actually do well. So you're making the right moves. I'm just the team's confusing.
Yeah,
especially with how you put the pieces around here. All right, let's see here. Kyler Murray, Achon, Walker, Chase, Wilson, Ferguson, Deontay. Yeah, sick team, man. Yeah, nothing you can really say here. Like, really sick team. And your bench is rather loaded as well. Nice.
Yeah, I wish I had context on like what size league this was, but you didn't give me.
No, sometimes these teams just go crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Bijan Robinson, Michael Pittman, Garrett Wilson, Dalton Kincaid, Devon Achane. Oh, there's Grant.
Yo, back to that other guy. Pick up Trey Tucker instead of Dontavian.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think I just keep Wicks.
I mean, Devontae's going to leave, and he's injured, so there's going to need to be a receiver, and he is the guy that got all the work last game.
This is true. Let's see here. We got Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Bijan Robinson, Michael Pittman, Garrett Wilson, Dalton Kincaid, Achon, Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore. Yeah, another really stacked squad here. Not really going to be able to say much here. Just another really stacked team. If anything, like maybe you want like a more consistent quarterback. Like you don't need 4 random guys here. I don't think you can do 2-for-1s for quarterbacks, but you never know.
Would you still start Devon?
Devon, I'd like to think there's going to be better days ahead for him, but it's definitely not ideal right now. I'd try to find somebody else to start if I could, but that was awful last night.
Yeah, it's gross.
Checkdown's going to even get him there.
Yeah.
That game as a whole was gross.
Kickers. That was key.
Kickers.
But yeah, this team's really strong. Not really much to say here. James Shakir for Gibbs. What do you guys say?
Who for Gibbs? Shakir now?
James Conner.
I would take the Gibbs side probably. Yeah. Shakir's projection is really low this week. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you never know when the receivers are going to pop, I think is the thing for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because it's like Green Bay in that sense. It's like they're just more of a rotation.
Am I crazy for being bullish on Josh Downs this week?
I mean, if Flacco's starting, I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, I would second that.
Like, that's kind of the big question is like, is he starting? Because if he is, then like I really want to be telling people to start a lot of the Colts players because I like the matchup. Yeah. But if it's Anthony Richardson, then it's like I like starting Richardson in theory, but I don't really like starting his receivers.
Yeah, one of the things I've been telling certain people in the Discord who like need to tear down from somewhere and they have an elite quarterback is to go to the Anthony Richardson panic or tear down through your quarterback and their Anthony Richardson right now before he comes back.
Yeah. Like I think you can get like Richardson for nothing. And it's just like you're just trying to get the mobile quarterbacks and like if they suck sometimes, so be it. They're gonna have some weeks that they're great. Like it's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, fun squad. I like this a lot. Tucker Kraft looked great. Fields was awesome. Debo is going to be amazing now that he's healthy in theory. I think he's probably like the start of the week just because of the amount of usage he should have. But yeah, I like this squad a lot. If anything, like you could try to like sell for more consistency for the future for the running backs, but like James Conner and Kyren Williams are fine. I can understand tearing out of like James Conner and Shakir for Gibbs here. Makes sense. Yeah, really strong squad. I like it a lot. Not much to be said. If anything, like, yeah, fun squad. And Brandon Aubrey, the ultimate weapon for fantasy football. All right, let's see here. Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, Brandon Ayuk, Rashee Rice, Dallas Goedert, Mike Evans, Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Johnson, Drake London, and Baker Mayfield. All right. I mean, yeah, another really strong stacked squad. You can sub in Drake London or Deontay Johnson for Rice. You're kind of fine there. Yeah, like you're chilling. Don't really have anything to say here. Like tight end, even like you're getting the boosted usage for Goddard right now. So that's one of the better things.
Yeah, I feel like this team being 1-3, like probably has to do a bit with Rice getting injured this week. Should be.
That was such BS. I lost like one. I basically won every single week, but like I lost one because it's just like no points for Rice.
It's also like some best ball equity kind of lost too, which is annoying.
Yeah, maybe there's a 2% chance that he's not out for the season, but I'd say that he's out, but we will see. Prayers. All right. You got offered Nico Collins for Jordan Mason, and you were curious if you should do that trade. Yeah. I want Nico Collins more than Jordan Mason. Like, I can understand the concern for your team structure, but like Nico Collins is basically like top 3 right now. I think
told
he
this
might be
to-
wide receiver 1.
I think he is.
So it's like Jordan Mason, guy that coming off waivers. I don't know. I can understand it for concern for like structural purposes, but you do have B-Rob. I like B-Rob. I like your receivers a lot. We can always figure out how to get out of them, and it gets you correlation with Stroud. I'd do it. Screw it. We'll figure it out.
Great trade.
Bobby Krillin, Justin Fields, Bijan Robinson, Jordan Mason, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, JSN, Elijah Higgins, Tony Pollard, Josh Allen, Eric Gall, Wandale Robinson, Tyrone Tracy, Roshan Johnson, Caleb Williams. Yeah, I like the squad a lot. It's just this part obviously needs help, but you're just hunting value. Unfortunately, nothing has really come. Tony Pollard got a little bit of just BS work last night, so that was good for him. But yeah, I don't know. I think the squad's really strong. It's just like you can technically upgrade your tight end and flex more, but like you have Justin Fields and Josh Allen and Caleb Williams in a super flex, and then you're eventually going to have Jonathan Brooks. Like if anything, like maybe build up your tight end, but like I really like this squad. Jonathan Brooks. All right, move up to the next one. Kyler Murray, Zamir White, Kenneth Walker, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Sam Laporta, Deebo Samuel. Then we got Waddle on the bench with Brian Robinson. Yeah, I mean, and you just need to upgrade your RB1 here. Yes, RB2. Zamir White was fun while it lasted, but
Was
I
it?
don't. It wasn't. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was pretty damn painful.
So I would try to get somebody else for that spot specifically. But outside of that, I like the squad. Supposedly Tua's coming back after week 8, I think, which I think is definitely
Really?
interesting.
I mean, that's still a long ways, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good update, I guess.
I just don't really know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of my question. Is like, what's he gonna? Because like, if he gets hit again, like, what happens?
I
Death,
mean,
bro.
he's out. He's out
Yeah.
until the concussion protocol's over again.
Jesus Christ!
If he gets another one of those, it has to just be done.
It's becoming like that meme of the volleyball guy or whatever, soccer. That guy hit in the face like 70 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scott Sterling.
Yeah, Scott Sterling. That's Tua at this point.
Awesome video.
Yeah, I feel like after the last two, now people were kind of like, all right, this Tua guy might be done here.
Yeah.
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 I'd want
Yeah.
the Singletary side, Thunderhawk. I would not want Zamir. I think Singletary is somebody to be trading for. As long as they don't kill freaking Malik Neighbors. Just injuries everywhere. Yeah, that would be my only recommendation for this squad. Upgrade this.
Thoughts on Kamara and Devontae Smith for Bijan? My current RBs are Henry, Brees, and Kamara. Dynasty League.
I'd rather just try to do Kamara in like some form of equity for Bijan. I'd try to keep Devonta Smith. Like maybe even sell him Henry, like if he's interested. Like Brees and Bijan are like ascending assets. Same thing with the Devonta. Like Kamara is at the very end. But I think it's fine.
Your team, those running backs are pretty stacked. Like you could just go win this year.
This is true. All depends on how you want to attack it. I'm not afraid of using equity, I guess, is my main thing. All right. Moving on to the next one. Kyler Murray, Brees Hall, Josh Jacobs, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, Jameson Williams, Brian Robinson. BTJ is going to be a thing, so I like that. Cooper Kupp and McCaffrey on them. Yeah, this team's loaded. Not much to say here, man. and when they come back, they'll be rather strong. You don't need Andy Dalton and T-Law on your bench for what it's worth. You have Kyler Murray and well, I guess the super flex, so I guess technically you do. Yeah, really strong team here, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'd be very happy if this was my team. And you also got Worthy now that Rice is likely out for the season, so positive there.
What'd you think about that report on Rice last night?
That he might be healthy.
It kind of was hard to get a read on. It made it seem like two people said he tore his ACL, and they were like, "Nah, it can't be." Let's talk to 3 more people. Just to,
I can't get a read on it at all. Like, I'd like to think that it's basically, yeah, he tore his ACL, but at this point, like, it does make me think that he didn't, though. And
but it just feels like they're kind of like saving face for a bit. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
They could be, but I also just look at it. It's like they're trying to get all the factors clearly, but majority of the time, I can't think of another instance where they were just like, "Oh shit, he looks like he tore his ACL." Then the next day, they weren't just like, "Well, we have to go get 17 different opinions." In this case, every other instance has been like, "Nah, he tore his ACL, man. Like he's done for the season."
Yeah.
And it's just like here they're like, we don't know. So it's just like, we'll see, I guess. It's like, I'll at least be an idiot and like have some form of optimism. But my brain tells me the test on the field says he tore his ACL. So I imagine that's what it will be, but we will see.
Agreed.
Should you trade Dowdle and Brown for Deontay and D-Hop? I want the Deontay and D-Hop side. Yeah, because Dowdle and Brown don't really hold that much value. In theory, you want to upgrade your running backs further, but I think that Deontay and D-Hop are just really good receiver options. And you can even use them to trade with if you want. Big fan of the squad here. Big fan. Yeah, not much I'd really change. You just want more concrete options for the end of the season between James Conner and Jordan Mason. Montgomery's a good sneaky option, but I would be trying to upgrade off of them for the later part of the year. But I like the team overall. What say you guys? Anything on this squad?
No, just keep
I mean, the Braylon Allen situation is a fun one to monitor. He definitely looked like the better running back. I think he certainly has a role going forward. Not that Brees is tanked or anything, but that was just a rough game of output. Obviously, like the BTJ upside, like you were talking about, and then once you get some of those injured guys back, it fills in some of those holes, like Tyler Conklin, and then you have BTJ as more of like a bench piece, and you can decide whether you start him or Amari Cooper, but in any given week.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
If I had to make a suggestion for or if I had to trade someone immediately, I'd probably be trying to shop Brown right now. Of anybody on this team, probably for a healthy wide receiver backup if you can.
True.
But yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next squad. We got Baker, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Jordan Mason, Kenneth Walker, Kincaid, Kirk, Ford, Jennings, Mason, Mahomes, Algier, Tucker. 14-man full PPR Mahomes for Etienne, Ford for Pickens. I would do Pickens. I want Pickens in return for Ford. I think there's more value for Pickens realistically. Let's see. Kirk, I'd be trying to sell off of. I like that you went out and got Mahomes. That's more value for you. I like the squad a lot. In a 14-man, this feels rather strong. I would, of course, try to find something more consistent than Christian Kirk because I do have concerns about consistency for him. But this is another theoretical good matchup for him, especially if they're without Evan Ingram once again. But what do you guys think about this squad?
Yeah, the Kirk thing's an interesting one. I feel like people are kind of shopping him after an up week. They're not playing a great secondary, so you could potentially get another good week of production out of Christian Kirk, especially if Evan Ingram's out, like you said. You were offered Mahomes for Etienne. I mean, I would I don't know. I don't really love ETN. I would probably do that Ford for Pickens deal, though. What do you think about that, Wells? That
Yeah,
makes sense in my brain.
I touched on that. I want the Pickens side of that.
For sure. But yeah, definitely better output from Kirk this week. There's a reason to be a little more excited than you probably were the first couple weeks.
Yeah. Would you take Dubs or Wicks on the waiver? I mean, realistically, I want Wicks, but I feel like the technical play still might be Dubs. But
yeah, probably. Wicks is the more exciting guy, but Romeo Dobbs always tends to find his way open.
That he does. That he does. All right. Let's see here. On to the next squad. 1 and 3. Jalen Hurts, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Deontay Johnson, Michael Wilson, Cole Kmet, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kemi Fairbairn, Whittington, Devonta Smith, Jalen Warren. Yeah. So, I mean, you just kind of need somebody to hit for your flex more than anything. Devonta Smith is out, unfortunately. Jalen Hurts is now on a bye. Jahmyr Gibbs is now on a bye. Jalen Warren's out. I would probably go get Jaleel McLaughlin, I guess, just because you're going to need somebody for just RB points, it looks like here. That's the only person that I can think of that's guaranteed to pretty much be on waivers unless you can get Kareem Hunt. And that's just not a guarantee this week. Let's see here. And quarterback, you can pretty much sift through the waivers. I can't really think of like who I would drop for him though, because a lot of these players you have on your team do hold value. I guess I'd drop Michael Wilson, and then I would go pick up just some sort of pit fill-in quarterback. I'd throw in Whittington. I like this matchup personally. I think he's in a fun spot. Rams versus Green Bay should be high scoring. I think it's one of the better game environments on the week. Yeah. Overall, the team's kind of fine. You just have to adjust for the bye week here. I'm not expecting a win this week. You can always tear down from quarterback as well. Like, that is something I would encourage here if you do have concerns about the longevity of your team. Because you can always tear up that flex spot. But that's really about it. Not much else to be said about this squad. But, yeah,
Agreed.
That's how I do it. All right, on to the next one. Julian, somebody offered Dobbins for Fields. I'd rather keep Fields. Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Gesicki, Deontay Johnson, Tyjae Bucky. He's becoming more of a thing, which is exciting to see. Yeah, not really too much to be said here. I'd just be looking for options that are going to last for the end of the season. Referring to Kamara, I do think he's still a fine option. But I do think that as we get closer to the end of the season, he's not going to be like the best player to have. I like your bench guys in Bucky and Tyjae, but like they still have more time to bloom. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this squad? What would you do?
I mean, you definitely keep Fields, I think. I don't really see a spot for Dobbins to start unless there's bye weeks and stuff, and you have guys like Bucky and Jerome that can plug a hole for a week or two. I wouldn't be too concerned. I would be probably trying to build up some of your receivers on your bench because it doesn't look like you have any, which is a little concerning, I guess, just for bye weeks or injuries or anything. It's been a crazy year for guys missing games and stuff. I would probably try to prepare yourself a little for that. I'm not sure who you drop. You probably drop all, I guess, but
you can sell
looking to tier up tight ends. You could maybe do like a 2-for-1, sell high on Bucky, and try to go get a better tight end maybe, and then you can use whatever roster slot you lose in the 2-for-1 for receivers off the bench, just because I feel like you need some depth in that area, but.
Yeah, you could sell high on Justin Fields tier down as well. I just wouldn't do it for Dobbins necessarily.
Yeah, get a receiver maybe.
Let's see here. And then we'll go to the last one here. Fortunately, these are recorded, Viraj, but we can always check back All right. Sitting at 2-2, worried about Casey backfield. Have standing offer of Chuba, Henry, Brooks for Brees / Allen, and another offer of Montgomery / Jacobs for Brees, Henry, Higgins. I feel like you want the Brees, Henry, Higgins one.
Yeah,
right?
I like that one a lot.
Let's see here. Yeah, I would want the Brees, Henry, Higgins side.
Yeah, I
Henry Brooks,
totally agree. I think Derrick Henry is kind of like overperforming right now a little bit, but Brees is probably a better underperforming back than Jacobs. And then, yeah, you're just getting two good backs for one good back, and I like it a lot.
Well, he would be giving up Brees, Henry, and Higgins.
Where does he have Henry?
I don't know, but I see Brees and Higgins.
Yeah, I'm very confused. I
Yeah,
guess, on
you're
the
right.
trade.
You're right. Now
Is it Hunter? No, I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, he has the Brees side, so I would hold Brees, and I mean,
I just want to
I would
keep
hold
the
the Brees
Brees and
side.
Higgins side. You don't want to be trading for Henry, realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely don't. I thought Henry was on the same Brees and Higgins team.
I think he is, but I just don't know where. I don't know where he is, but it would. I don't know. I'm very confused about that. But assuming you have Derrick Henry, or even if that's like Hunter Henry or something, I would still keep the Brees side of it.
I think this guy might be in chat. Hold on. Jacob's team has Saquon. Would you cash out Brees for Henry and Chuba / Brooks?
Oh, so the first trade is the real one, I guess. Chuba, Derrick Henry, and Brooks for Brees and Braylon Allen. I would probably keep Brees, but that's not like a bad deal. I don't know, actually, because Steele's not the guy, and you need another running back to plug in there. And if you can plug in that whole Panthers running back room at some point, like it's probably inevitably going to be Jonathan Brooks at some point, but for now, Chuba's good. And you can kind of guarantee yourself a starting running back in there, probably not like an elite one, but someone. And then you have Derrick Henry there. That kind of makes some sense.
Yeah, I would agree. Great. Can you repost this Discord link in here?
Yeah.
Guys, if you want to get your team reviewed today, all you got to do is hop in our Discord. The link is in the YouTube chat. And all you have to do is send me a DM like you see on the screen at Jamario Moon. We'll get your team up today or on one of our upcoming reviews. Would you trade Tay and ETN for Chase, even with the Tay rumors?
Depends who your running backs are, but I would do that.
Yeah.
I think wherever he goes, I mean, unless he goes to like Kansas City or something, it'll probably be a good team that already has a good receiver, and it'll take a couple weeks for him to kind of get in the swing of things. And then there'll still be another guy that the quarterback is probably more comfortable with. I mean, if you're looking at like landing spots, KC obviously makes a ton of sense. Outside of that, I guess, I don't know. Are there other destinations that are exciting to either of you?
I mean, in theory, that he's always going to be rumored with the Jets. It's always a big question mark.
But like, if he's going to the Jets, I would still rather have Chase.
Yeah, it's just going to piss off a lot of Jets fantasy owners. Let's see here. Should you trade for Jerome Ford or use the? I wouldn't be really trading for Jerome Ford.
Viraj, we are doing these again today or tomorrow. So feel free to send me a DM whenever.
Yeah, I mean, not really much to be said on this squad though. Like, you just need to be upgrading your RB2. Like, and we kind of just went through how to potentially do that. But yeah, I like the squad overall. And then we'll just go up to Viraj's here. Thank you. Second. How you doing, Sunset Ek? How you doing? Murray, Achon, Walker, Chase, Garrett Wilson. Yeah, this is a really strong team. There's not really much to be discussed on it, my friend. I think that's probably why we went through it so quickly.
Trey McBride and K9 or Kelsey and Montgomery in PPR?
I feel like you kind of want Kelsey and Montgomery a little bit, but like Trey McBride and K9 are probably the much smarter decision.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody gets traded there, like Kelsey should be the tight end one the remainder of the way, but you just like who knows what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's so weird and tough to navigate. But I mean, in PPR, K9 seems to be a lot more valuable than Montgomery, but Montgomery just scores every game and is gonna get you like 13 points every matchup. So like,
yeah,
I would probably hold the Kelsey side, or I don't know which side you are.
No, the K9 McBride side's probably smarter. But yeah, all right, that's it for today.
We actually
Appreciate
have a buzzer
Oh, we
beater.
got one more
Yeah.
buzzer beater. Right on.
There's the first half.
Would you trade Brees for Marvin Jacobs? Lost Rasheed.
Yeah, I honestly don't mind that tier down if you're really struggling after losing Rasheed.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
Marvin Jacobs there. That's fine. Jacobs is going to get better with Jordan Love as well, I'd imagine. And then
And
Marvin,
like Brees, I mean, I don't
Same
think it's
tier as
worth
Brees.
overthinking, but he's not like, yeah.
like that's a yeah. All right, let's see here. Justin Fields, Brees Hall, Derrick Henry, Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, Brock Bowers, Josh Jacobs. All right, Tank Dell, Bucky Irving, David Montgomery, Darnold Mooney, Romo Dunze, Caleb Williams. I mean, another really sick team. Like, nothing to be said here. Like, in theory, you want to sell out of Derrick Henry, but he's looked awesome. Nothing to really be said here, man. Really sick team. You have spots that are going to fill up your flex when needed. Like, that's the only thing you could technically upgrade as well. But, yeah, I like the team a lot. Big fan. Let's see here. But yeah.
Do you want to be a good fantasy name? Wheelin'
What?
and Thielen. Pretty good, right?
That is good. Would you trade Xavier Worthy for Zach Moss?
I'd want Worthy right now, man. Like, Worthy has all the upside. Like, if something goes wrong, not something goes wrong. Like, if it goes as expected and Rashee Rice tore his ACL, like, Worthy should be a big, like, increase here.
Mhm.
But we'll see. All right. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. We'll be doing more of these tomorrow. And until then, appreciate y'all. Have a great day. And yeah, talk to y'all later. Peace now.
Peace.
Peace.